Membership nationally in Girl Scouting has been in decline since 2003. On this chart, you will notice the decline, with a peak in 2003 and continued decreases each year since then, continuing through the current year. Since 2003, national membership has decreased by nearly 20%. Should this rate continue, of decreasing approximately 20% every 10 years, by the time Girl Scouts reaches its 200th anniversary, it would have only about 150,000 members left, out of approximately 2.5 million today. Girl Scouts of the USA has attempted to stop the membership decline by revamping and making additions to the national program several times over the past decade. In the early 2000s, GSUSA introduced the Studio 2B program. That was later followed by the addition of journey books at every grade level, and later by the addition of the new Girl's Guide to Girl Scouting. While these new ideas have certainly created consistent program outcomes, they have failed at the task of stopping membership decline.
Though they're young girls, their voices were heard today. For the first time, more than 100 Girl Scout members and volunteers came together to ask the board to reconsider closing 4 Girl Scout camps. It's a story we've been following since May.
Susanna Song was there. She is live in the newsroom to explain tonight. Susanna?
Brandon, Jess, many of the members who came out for the 4-hour meeting today said they want to be heard when it comes to big decisions like selling Girl Scout camps.
As 4 Eastern Iowa Girl Scout campsites appear set to be sold. Here's News 8's Megan Noe joining us tonight with more. Good evening, Megan.
Good evening, Jason. Among those camps on the chopping block are 2 in our area. That's Camp Conestoga in New Liberty, Iowa, and Camp Elkita near Burlington. Leaders say it's a sign of changing times, and for many, it's the end of an era they'll never forget.
The sale of camp properties are often deeply complicated, emotional issues. And since we do not know these situations well, it would not be appropriate for us to make a comment on them either way. But in any case, we believe that something must be done to address the deep rift that situations such as these have caused among Girl Scout volunteers. We must repair this damage in order for all of us to move forward together in a harmonious way. According to a recent article published in the Chronicle of Philanthropy, several Girl Scout CEOs were quoted in that article expressing their fear for our organization's finances due to the ever-growing pension liability. According to that article, the pension liability is around $340 million and growing. This is of great concern to our group because we feel that this excessive burden on local councils prevents our councils from improving program services, improving services directly to members, and making improvements and maintenance that are much needed for our camping facilities. Additionally, this prevents councils from being able to offer competitive retirement options to their younger employees, which will ultimately create a problem for talent retention within the councils. Councils are being asked to set aside an ever-increasing amount of their payroll to cover these legacy pension costs, and we strongly believe that something must be done to relieve our councils of this burden. If something is not done and this amount continues to increase, it will have a further negative effect on membership and program services and staff retention. Our group loves Girl Scouts very much, every one of us in our own way. We did not bring up these concerns to be negative or to reflect poorly upon the Girl Scout movement. Quite the opposite, we brought them up because we hope that doing so will allow us to engage in an open and honest dialogue about how our generation can be part of the solution to some of these problems. In that spirit, we have outlined on our website several ideas which we think could make an immediate impact, and will present one of them here now as a brief example. We are proposing the creation of a national recruitment corps, similar to Teach for America or AmeriCorps, in that the program would recruit talented, recent college graduates and engage them in a training program to help them learn about recruitment tactics for Girl Scouting, and then place them in local Girl Scout councils where they could assist for 1 year in recruitment efforts. We have expanded on this idea in much more detail on our website, but let's quickly take a look at the numbers. Assuming that this program would offer a stipend similar to AmeriCorps, and assuming training would cost about $5,000, and assuming that we would select 100 fellows per year at a cost of $20,000, the cost to GSUSA would be about $2 million. Now let's assume that after extensive training for both the student getting the fellowship and the council hosting them, they were able to dedicate 1 year of full-time service to recruiting girl members, and in that time they were able to recruit 1,000 girls. 1,000 girls multiplied by 100 fellowships at 100 councils would equal 100,000 new members. Assuming that those 100,000 girls would each sell, on average, 100 boxes of cookies, recognizing that some would sell more and some would sell less, that equals 10 million additional boxes of cookies sold for that year, which would be an additional revenue for local councils to help them with member services, programs, and improvements to camp facilities. On the first slide, we indicated that the cost to GSUSA for offering this program would likely be around $2 million. However, given the math on the previous slides, with the increased membership dues collected from the additional girls, and the increase in GSUSA's cookie royalty based on increase in sales, we estimate that the true cost would likely be much less, around $500,000. We have expanded on these ideas and several others at our website, which you can visit at www.gsfutureisours.com.
Akira?